But I've got all my whips set out. This is a great project for traveling. Our flight got delayed like over 3 hours. Hello, this is Emily from the future, present, editing Emily. And I just kind of wanted to give a little introduction to this video. If you haven't seen my last vlog, I'll link it up above as well as down below, but this is all part of my trip to Utah that I took with my husband, my daughter, to visit some family, both sides of our family. I had a memorial for my grandfather, and I mentioned that in the last vlog. That's why we went to Utah. And then we also spent some time visiting with my husband's family since they are from Utah. We had a nice good trip there. Last vlog I talked through all the different projects that I was thinking about bringing, kind of making a plan for what I wanted to do on our trip through our travel, which ended up being a lot longer than we thought it would be, as well as the first little bit of our trip. And so this vlog, we're picking up back. We are back in Utah County, back visiting my husband's family. The drive went well from Vernal, which was like a 3-hour drive. And we are back kind of at like our home base for this trip. So that's kind of where it picks up. You'll see the rest of our trip and what I work on while I'm there, as well as I'll talk about my progress in general at the very end of our trip, what went how I thought it would, what went differently, and all that good stuff. So let's get right into it. Hello, good morning. It's Saturday and we are now settled back in with my husband's family. So we were able to spend about a day or so in Vernal for my grandfather's memorial. That was really good. I'm really glad we were able to go out and spend some time with family. I didn't get a ton of time knitting, crocheting, all that stuff, but I did get some, and so you will have seen that. I was able to get a lot done in the car. So I'll show you kind of like where I'm at with all my projects and what I expect for today. Saturday. We're gonna do some fun little shopping, us girls in the family, and I know my husband's going golfing later this afternoon, but we kind of have the whole day open to us, so we'll see kind of what happens. So first I want to show you the shawl design I'm working on. I really need to come up with a name. Something ocean-y related. I started on the second skein of the variegated color. I am almost done with this third section. Almost. I've got like a row and a half. I'm getting really close. I really need to finish that and get a really good start on the fourth section, which will be another lace section today. That's a goal of mine because I was really hoping to have this shawl done here while we're in Utah, so that as soon as I get back, I don't have to worry about last minute things. I can just block it and then be ready to take pictures within a day or two of coming home. So I really want to get this worked on. I think because I have managed the transition from the cluster stitches into the lace, as well as the lace stitches into the cluster stitches, like those transition rows, I think I figured it out how I like it. I think it'll go a little faster because I won't have to be figuring that out and frogging and whatnot. So yeah, making some good progress. Definitely won't be a super deep shawl, but I think especially with blocking as it gets even longer, because that lace will stretch out even a little bit more, I think that it will be a really good size. Yay, so happy. So making some progress on that, but I think this is gonna be my focus today since I won't be working on this design tomorrow. Also, a big car project I was working on when I was, switching off between the shawl and this other project when I needed a break is my peekaboo maxi skirt. And I'm really surprised actually that this isn't working up as quick as I thought and that I still have quite a ways to go. But this is the waistband. You'll kind of see the line of like my gauge changing just a little bit. So I've got maybe 3 inches done total. Making some good progress. It would be really nice to finish my first 2 skeins. I'm alternating to finish my first 2 skeins of this project while I'm here. But I think that I will put this on the back burner and this will be a big Sunday project to work on, I think is my plan, because I won't work on my design on Sunday. So this will be something fun, that this will be nice and big. I think I'll get a lot of progress done on that tomorrow. Last but not least, my socks. I've got lots of sock info to share with you. There's a lot going on in here. Oh my goodness. I finished the sock for my brother. Ta-da! Yay! Yay! So I was able to have him try it on. I had 55 rows done and it seemed a little bit long, and so I ended up just pulling back 2 rows. So I've done 53 rows, I think, on the foot. So I have those marked out. And then I just did the modified square toe I like to do, where I decrease every other round for about half of the sock length, and then for the other half I decrease every round, and so it kind of rounds it out a little bit more rather than like being straight up, and then I feel like I get extra fabric on top. That's done. I did not get him to try it on when it was fully finished, but I think it'll work just fine and it'll be a nice good fit for him. It's my guess. And yeah, one sock done for my stroll yarn review. I was thinking about just doing one sock each for each of my family to help me get through that video a lot quicker. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll just set this aside. I have my notes written down, so it should be easy for me to go back and make the second one, as long as I'm cognizant of my gauge and that that's not too different. So yeah, one sock done out of 5. So we're making some progress on that. And I got started on my next stroll sock. Kind of got started, I guess. I separated out that stroll gradient skein into these 4 colors, and there, since it is a gradient, there's kind of a little blending. So I have like itty bitty balls of like where the blending was, just to make the colors more distinct and separate from one another, so that it will look more like a self-striping yarn once it's worked up than like a gradient yarn is the plan. So I have that all started. I think I'm gonna start at the cuff with this, and I need to figure out, kind of plan what I want to do with these. It is 100 grams total, and so I wish I had my scale so I could weigh and make sure. I'm pretty sure they're all approximately. I'll do one sock and kind of just see how it goes, but I'll pick one color to do for my cuff and one to do on the heel and one to do on the toe based on my striping. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I should sit down and think a little bit more about that, just to make sure I have enough yarn so that my socks match. Overall, the goal is the design shawl, because that has a huge deadline. And then I'd like to start my stroll socks and have a plan for that so I can work on that mindlessly, because I always like to have a sock on the go that's always vanilla or something really simple I can do without worrying about looking at a pattern or whatnot. My skirt will be kind of a, you know, if I need a good break for something. But we shall see. I've got some plans. Today will be a fun day, kind of trying to recuperate, because we've just done a lot of traveling, lots of driving, lots of late nights. George has been amazing, honestly, with our schedule being so wonky, and she's just been the sweetest, happiest girl, having so much fun. That's made it a lot easier, and yeah, we'll just see how the day goes. Oh, and I'm planning on going to a local yarn store today. Not sure which one. I'll have to see where we'll be shopping and then kind of see what's close up. So you'll see a little vlog of that, which is really so fun.
But yeah, they're all teacups. So
that's so cute. Snag this. Hello, happy Sunday. So did not end up vlogging a lot yesterday. Things kind of took a turn. Everything's okay now, but after we did just a little bit of shopping, got Georgia from her nap, she started feeling warm really quickly when we were out and about. Tried to cool her down, got home, kept trying to cool her down. She stopped eating and drinking. Her fever was pretty high, so we ended up taking her in. We got home very late last night after visiting the ER, but her fever is doing way better and she's eating and drinking, definitely feels more herself. I was worried that she might have heat exhaustion, but it seems like with treatment, it's mostly just like a virus. So I guess she just happens to get sick whenever we visit Grandma and Grandpa's, even though we have not been around anyone that we know that's been sick, so that's no fun. It's not anything that they found in tests, so we're just kind of taking it easy. Got home late, so we're just relaxing today. I'll have to show the yarn that I picked up when I was at Petitfours and Pearls. So cute. A couple more, like, they definitely felt summery colorways to me. A sock set from Yarnaceous Fibers, which I've been eyeing on Instagram, so I'm glad I can get something from them. And then a sock set from the Backyard Knitter, I think is what they're called, which I hadn't heard of before, but I really love their colors. So it was really fun, great little store. I loved, they had like these big ceramic teacups that were handmade by a local artist, and there was like dozens of them and they were all uniquely glazed. I can't imagine that how much work went into that. Taking a pottery class in college, I know a little bit about how that workload would be, but it was really beautiful workmanship. And they were just leaning really hard into the theme of like a tea house, afternoon tea party, and yarn, and so it was really cute. I was really glad that I went. They've only been open for maybe a year, I think, so still a fairly new yarn store, so that was really fun. I'm glad I could go. Got a couple errands done and then just kind of worried about Georgia the rest of the day. Not too much going on yesterday. Glad that we can relax today. Went on a little walk, and now we're here at the park to get some fresh air, probably do some chilling out at home, just kind of relax on our last full day spending time with my in-laws. Do you see Georgia? Yeah, there you are. Just wanted to give you an update on how my next pair of stroll socks are going. And I've started my sock. I did my cuff already and I'm started on the leg. And you can see that I'm doing 5 round stripes. I did 4 rounds on top just because I had the cast on edge. And I might change my plan. I'll show you what I've got. Okay, so the original plan, you can see I've got a gajillion numbers because I was trying to figure out where to put the stripings and what colors to do for the toe and the heel, and just to make it all kind of coordinate. I did some math over here for like how many rounds I do for the foot, how many rounds I do for the gusset, so I could plan out my stripes there. My second sock drawing looks even worse, but this is like the final plan I decided. I'm liking how it's looking so far. It's just got like 1,000 ends to weave in, so that's like not fun. I'm trying to weave in as I go, but there's only so much that I could do on the ribbing to make sure that I felt secure about them. So okay, so I just wanted to share my progress on the shawl. It's still bunching up a little bit, but I think that with blocking it'll help a lot with those transitions between the lace and the regular panels. But I finished the 3rd section and I'm about halfway through this 2nd section, and so it's smooth sailing from here. Honestly, the lace won't take very long. It's coming along, definitely not as fast as I had hoped, but it is what it is. So I was not able to get as much done yesterday as I had hoped with all the chaos of my daughter not feeling well, but that's okay. And now I have a clear plan ahead for what I'm gonna do. And so tomorrow is Monday, and I'll get a chance to do some more work on that, I think, in the car or when we're just relaxing at home. We haven't quite decided if we're still traveling up to Logan, Utah to visit some more family just because George is sick. Not quite sure if that'll happen, which is kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. I really hope I can finish at least the crocheting sometime before we arrive in California. So I might even work on it on the plane. I'm really strapped for time because I really just want to be on top of it. Get it blocked pretty soon after we land back home on Tuesday. All right, so beautiful weather now. It's so nice outside. This whole week has been like mid to high 90s, so the evenings have been the best time to get out here. And I just wanted to kind of update you because I feel like I've had lots of just, sitting and enjoying time with family and knitting. So I've got my cuff and my final leg done for my stroll sock. I did extend it a couple more stripes than what I had originally planned, just because I wanted to make sure it was a little bit longer. Did not want to have too short of a leg. I'm kind of like a middle between ankle length and like mid-calf sock. I like the middle territory, so I wanted to lengthen it just a little bit. And then I randomly got an idea. Sorry, there's kids playing. If you have seen one of my recent videos, I talk about my summer sock camp goals, and one of my goals for this summer sock camp this summer is to try a Fish Lips Kiss heel. I've been thinking about it, especially with Knitty Natty. Man, the wind is even like blowing my gimbal. That's crazy. I just want to learn more techniques for sock knitting, and so I just had the thought, what if I do a Fish Lips Kiss heel for this sock? And so I kind of stopped everything and went and bought the pattern because it was in my cart for a really long time. For some reason I just never bought it, and I've been reading through the pattern. It's got a lot of written instructions and lots of things to help you figure out exactly where to place everything. But I think I'm ready to start the heel on this sock. I think what I'm going to do is just do the next color will be this light pink. Be the heel. Also, other project, I put in some time when I had to put down that sock just for ease of hard to learn a new heel technique when there's tons of family around and lots to be done for my toddler. And so I kind of set my socks aside and pulled out my skirt, got a little bit farther. I really need to put a progress keeper in so you can see better how far it's come. But yeah, I definitely have like 3 to 4 inches. So a good chunk. Put in a few rows here and there. I, at this point, doubt that I'll get as far on this as I had thought I would when I packed this. So that's kind of interesting. I'm glad I brought it, but I don't know, I'm just a little surprised with how much time I've been able to put into this, and I guess how slowly it is working up, which isn't actually that slow, but I think there's just so many stitches because it's a skirt. It's just so many more stitches than like a sweater in my size. So I think that's why it feels like it's working up slower than I anticipated. But let's get to starting this heel. Good morning. It is now Tuesday. We are getting ready to go, so it is time to pack. That's better. All right, so we are home in California, and we haven't really had the chance to unpack, just kind of decompress a little. George is taking a nap, yay! So I thought that this would be a really good time to talk about what I was able to work on while we were out visiting in Utah. Also the kind of things that maybe were not as expected, like what I worked on that I didn't think I would work on, or what I didn't work on that I anticipated would take up more time while I was there, just things like that. Also, just a little review of what I got since I was able to visit a local yarn store while I was there. So let's kind of get started. I have a half-finished object, and I finished this sock. There will be a video coming where I talk more about this yarn as well as other stroll yarn from Knit Picks, so keep an eye out for that vlog. But I was able to finish this sock. I got like literally the whole foot done while we were waiting for our plane to come, since it was delayed for like 3 hours. So I got this done way sooner than I anticipated, and my brother was actually able to try it on before I did the toe, so I'm pretty confident that it will fit him fairly well. So happy about that. Yeah, since that was done, I didn't really feel like doing the second sock. I decided to cast on another sock, and I started on a stripy sock. So I've actually done quite a bit. I'm on the foot. I have a ways to go, but that's a lot of work that I did not necessarily plan on. I kind of just threw that skein in last minute because I was kind of in the mood to make a pair of vanilla-ish socks for me. I ended up learning the Fish Lips Kiss heel, and I really like how it fits so far, so I'm really looking forward to that. This might be something that I put in a lot of my heels, that I put in a lot of my socks coming up. So kind of fun to be trying something new and different. Unfortunately, because the heel is different than I'm used to, I don't know how many rounds I'll need on the foot, so I will have to be trying it on every once in a while to see how it fits, as well as I'm just nervous about this pink that I used on the heel that I will not have enough for my second sock. Did not have a scale with me. And I mean, it feels a little silly to bring a scale on a trip. I'm gonna try to plan it out so that hopefully my toe on this sock will be like maybe the mint green, or, well, okay, will be any color except for the pink so that I don't use the pink on that too, but I can't control it that much. So we'll see. If I'm really stuck, I'll have to undo it all and, you know, try something else. I don't know, but I like how it's looking so far. I love these colors together, and the stroll gradient is not really a gradient. There's just little bits of gradient in between the colors, but it's mostly just really long stripes. So I just separated them out so I could do 5 round stripes on a pair of socks. Definitely not an anticipated project to work on, but sometimes you just need a vanilla sock. Overall, I did not get as much done as I thought I would on my projects. I was able to do a little bit on my skirt. Ta-da! I was really close to the waistband. I was only like a couple rows in, and so I did a solid maybe like 3 inches on this, maybe. So made some progress. I've got a long way to go. I think it needs to be 20 inches long. So this will definitely be my Sunday knitting for the foreseeable future, so I can hopefully get this done fairly soon. I didn't even use up my first 2 skeins. I'm alternating, so I'm alternating between these 2, and then I have 2 more skeins. I didn't even finish them, so I'm kind of bummed about that because I didn't need to bring as much yarn as I planned, but it is what it is. Alfred, what are you doing? He's trying to get into my project bag. The other project that I had also did not get as far as I had hoped. This is my shawl. I'm trying to figure out a name for this shawl, and I'm designing with Dying Wishes Yarn Co. I'm thinking something like Tides of the Sea shawl or something along those lines. There's a lot of ocean inspired patterns out there, and so it's been a little hard to find a name that fits what I'm going for and also is not taken. Ta-da! This is the shawl. It's so big. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's got quite the wingspan. But I am on the last section. So close. So I've got maybe 4 rows left of this, and then it's done. I can weave in ends and block it. So I think I might try to push through this today so I can hopefully start blocking overnight since it is so big. Because of the lace, I think that it really, really needs a good block to have it lay flat like I would want it to, and it'll look best in pictures that way. It's looking really good. I'm really excited about it. This is a nice big shawl. I'm happy with how it went, but again, because of how the shaping goes over here with the short rows, each row gets shorter and shorter and shorter until the last row where I go all the way back down and up. And then that means the next section will start with a lot more rows as I'm starting from this point again and working in shorter and shorter rows. It took me longer than I anticipated, and I'm just really glad that it's getting close. Hopefully it can get done soon because I was really hoping to get this done on our trip, and that just didn't happen. I'm glad that I didn't run out of things to do. I definitely did not run out of things to do. I wish I could have gotten a little bit more done, but we had a really nice visit. Able to spend lots of time with family. I did not show a lot of that on the vlog, but we were able to just chat and play games and just enjoy each other's company, and that was really refreshing. I did not get any work done on this sock. I'd thrown this in. I'm a little bit of a tangle. These were definitely not a priority project, so they got 0 work. And so that means that I didn't need to bring this. I didn't need to bring my lace stitches book either. I also brought an extra set of needles that I didn't end up using for socks. And they don't take up that much space, so it's not like a big deal. But I was thinking I was gonna start another pair of socks, potentially. Oh, out of some new yarn that I got when I went to a yarn store in Utah, in Lehigh. It's called Pinafores and Pearls, and I did not cast that on because I forgot to ask to wind the yarn for me, and also I just had other projects that were more pressing, especially my shawl design. But this is what I ended up buying when I was there. 2 new to me dyers. We've got some Yarnaceous. This is some Yarnaceous. This is in La Salle Mountains. It is in 85-15 merino nylon base. And then this is the Backcountry Knitter Texas Sky with Robin's Egg. It is also an 85-15. I've never worked with an 85-15 base, and these are both 85-15, so that's kind of funky. But yeah, some really fun springy summery colors, some cute sock sets, and I also got a little stitch marker. It's got a little ampersand on it, the little symbol for Pinafore and Pearls, and that was so cute. It was a little like tea shop and yarn shop, so you could go get your tea, have your like cucumber sandwich, and get some like pinafores and other like pastry type things, and you could sit in the back room and even dress up a little bit. So it was very thematic, which is really fun. So I did enjoy going there. Super cute. Some really good finds that I'm really excited about. Yeah, very different from our last vlog. I got through like almost everything that I had. I guess I did have a couple designs that I still had a lot to do on, but I definitely felt more accomplished than I did with this trip as far as the knitting and crochet goes. But I'm glad I think I had a good balance of projects to work on that were things I really wanted to do. And I had big projects, small project, designs, fun projects. I had like kind of a good spread between everything. And so I feel like the types of projects I had were really good. Probably brought a little bit more than I needed to. Yeah, I did not need to bring that sock design. I worked on everything else. And I brought a little bit extra yarn for that skirt, but I did really think I was gonna get that far, but oh well. Things didn't go always as planned. We ended up spending a little bit of time in the ER taking care of my daughter, and she's doing really well right now. That kind of threw us for a loop and definitely messed with our sleep schedules, and also kind of changed what time we had available to do fun things for ourselves, and that's okay. And I'm really glad for what I could work on. I'm sure you'll see more progress on my next podcast, so definitely make sure to tune in for that. Thank you so much for joining along on this vlog as I shared my trip to Utah that I took with my family and the kind of things that I worked on while I was on that trip, as well as a couple tips for maybe how you would want to pack for your next trip. So let me know down below, what do you end up packing when you go on a big trip? Do you focus on 1 or 2 projects, or do you pack your whole stash? Let me know. I would love to hear from you down below, and I will see you next time. Happy making. Bye.